Hey YouTube, it's us again. I'm Jono.
Hi, Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
That's me. I'm Nikki.
And
this is Sam. I don't know if you remember her, but you know that we haven't done videos in a while because she's gotten like so much bigger since the last time. Ow.
last time she was a kitten.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's still a kitten. She's just like a massive kitten now.
Yeah, she's really big.
She's a super kitten.
Look at her. Ow.
Okay. Okay, don't do that. Sam's a vampire. Cause there's like this thing with Buffy where the vampires are so cat-like.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've talked about that yet. That the vampires are cats. Like they have really feline kind of features. Most of them have cheekbones.
Mm-hmm.
Just let her. I don't even care anymore. She's vampire killing you guys. Most of them have really like feline features. There's a word for that. And they they got the fangs and like all of their teeth are sharp. It's not just the fang teeth. The canine teeth, I guess. And they pounce a lot, like they're
hiss.
really and they hiss.
They hiss and they growl and
exactly. They've just got cat-likeness about them. They got yellow eyes.
The only thing
I think that they have like slits in people. Do they?
I believe so.
I think so.
The only thing which is kind of metaphorical is that cats fall asleep in beams of sunlight and vampires get put to sleep in beams of sunlight. So the cat comparison still stands.
Jesus, Sammy, why? She's just murdering me, guys.
We woke her up.
Yeah, so she's like mad.
She's probably just mad.
There's this question that only the fanfics ever answer, which is, do vampires purr?
Mm-hmm.
Which, according to fanfics, yes. You guys, I don't know if you saw that, but the most massive eye roll just came out of his face.
I mean, cause like, I don't know, we just need them to do a sexy thing, I guess. But while purring be sexy, that's weird.
It's not usually. It's not usually in a sexy context, mind you. I mean, I've read a bit of Bangelin's Buffy fiction and some Spuffle and some like.
Okay, because Bangel is
Buffy Angel.
Yeah, but it like as a name.
It's weird.
I prefer Spuffle.
And also, like, if you type it into like Tumblr or something,
just, like,
you get bangles.
You mean bagel, right?
Oh, not even bagels, you get bangles. Which is just like, why are you spelling bangle like that? And like, if you type in Fuffy, you just get a lot of pictures of cute dogs. Because, like, apparently people don't type L anymore.
This is cute.
It just bites. Yeah, so cat-like vampires, that's a thing. Which they don't address so much in the series, but is everywhere all over the fics.
Mm-hmm.
So we've gotten to we've gotten to the second half of season 2. We actually have watched ahead. Sorry, like there's been a lot going on with us, like in our personal lives and stuff. So we haven't had the time to actually record a video, especially because we usually do these like in the middle of the night, and they go on forever. Like our actual discussion is longer than what you see, and what you see are super long conversations. So yeah, we've watched up to like the middle of season 4 now.
Yeah.
So I had to just like recap the second half of season 2 a while ago because he'd already forgotten what happens in season 2 as opposed to season 3, and I'm just like, how do you not remember it by Buffy's haircut? Because that's how I remember everything.
I can't.
Just like remember what haircut she has in the scene, and you know immediately what season you're in.
The only way I identify seasons is by Slayer's dying, which is what we talked about earlier.
You're gonna run out of seasons if you do that, because like Faith only falls into a coma once. Like, what are you gonna do after that? Like, you're gonna run out of. Well, all right.
Yeah.
You know what? That's not exactly true. Because in season 5, you get a bit of Nikki Wood. He knows about some of the other Slayers now, so I can spoil shit. In season 4, you get a sneak peek of Sineo, who's the original Slayer, and then you get a little bit of Nikki Wood in season 5. I think you also get some Sineo in season 5.
Is Nikki Wood she's the black one that Spike killed?
Yeah, she's that one. He's seen GIFs. It's
yeah,
okay.
I've seen GIFs, yeah.
So yeah, there's Nikki Wood. You get bits of her in season 5 and season 7, and you get the potentials in season 7. In season 6, you don't get extra Slayers to judge the season by, but you do get a whole lot of weirdness that you'll immediately know that it's season 6.
Okay.
Season 6 is a really fucking weird season. And I'm saying that while we're watching season 4, which to me is the most bizarre of them. Because it's so not supernatural.
Okay.
It's like all army shit.
Yeah.
But this is like this whole part of the video is just going to be like one video where we're talking about everything but season 2 apparently. We have catching up to do, guys. We're sorry. Yeah, so season 2 at this point, like the second half is largely to do with character development and even like the things that happen, big events and stuff directly affect the really big stuff directly affect how the characters develop.
Mm-hmm.
And even the filler is kind of development filler. So it's tough to talk about season 2, particularly the second half of season 2, without directly relating to character development. So like pretty much this entire second half series of videos, however long they may be, is gonna be about character development and character-driven episodes. Everybody gets a buttload of development though. Like Willow gets the magic thing going on, and Xander becomes slightly less horrible, and Cordelia has to deal with the fact that she's semi-unpopular now that she started dating Xander, and Giles, his girlfriend gets fridged, and you know, like Kendra shows up with her character development going on, and Angel turns into Angelus, and there's just a lot going on for development. But Buffy deals mostly because like the Angelus thing happens pretty early in the second half. It happens like at the end of the second episode of the second half, because it's Bad Eggs.
Yeah, Bad Eggs,
which is just the weirdest episode of season 2. Season 2 has a lot of weird episodes in terms of their filler, but Bad Eggs is just so weird. It's like it's alien monster zombies. Like they're not actually aliens, but it's like it feels like alien eggs.
Wait, what? I mean, I know they're not aliens because aliens don't exist.
Because demons.
But they're demons.
But they're demon. They're exactly. They're demon monster eggs that turn everybody into zombies, basically. And it's just such a bizarre concept.
It's bizarre and it's gross.
And it's gross, and it was Buffy so weird.
Buffy like dives into the hole where the Queen Bazaar is, and you just hear all these chopping and stabbing sounds. Like you
There's some nasty ass things under the school.
In demon blood. And
every time Buffy drops into a hole below the school, some nasty ass shit happens.
That's true.
There's just gross things under the school. Sam's just like staring at me behind the laptop, guys. It's creepy.
Ready to phones.
Basically, she's just gonna slam the laptop closed, and we're not gonna be able to record anymore.
I would don't do that to me, okay?
Right. So it was Bad Eggs, just the weirdest episode ever, and then immediately following, and then Bad Eggs had like this whole be careful of sex, guys.
Yeah.
Theme going through it.
You get pregnant.
Exactly, because like they have to do that whole egg experiment thing. Which is like, why did they use chicken eggs to produce brain fart? I can't. It's like, it looks like a chicken egg, but it's not a chicken egg because everybody has like a chicken egg.
Yeah.
They start out with it. I'm sorry. Bad Eggs is weird, okay?
And Xander, okay, we're gonna stop talking about Bad Eggs because we have other things to talk about. But Xander like boils one of them and like Oh, 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 God.
The grossness is like
Oh,
under
that
my
episode was
skin.
gross. I think the grossness was exquisite. I like it when things are adequately gross. But that was just.
That's the episode that just makes me think of like weird 90s kids cartoons that had like a lot of blood and stuff. Goosebumps reminds me of being more creepy than like gross.
Okay.
Wasn't it?
Yes, probably. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of Nickelodeon stuff that was actually literally like just gross, and it just like the whole of the humor just surrounded around bodily functions. But as far as I remember, Goosebumps and like Are You Afraid of the Dark and that kind of stuff were just creepy and disturbing. I bet if you watch them again, they'd be like less disturbing than season 1 Buffy episodes. Because everything in the 90s was ridiculous, so it'd be probably less disturbing than those. Season 1 Buffy, which was shot with a potato. But yeah, Bad Eggs. Bad Eggs, which foreshadowed the whole angel thing by being be careful of the sex. And directly after they experience all of that, it's just kind of like, we told you guys, you did the sex, and then look at what happened.
So like, there's a trope called the Virgin Horror Complex.
That's not just a trope. That's like a
it's like a thing in life.
Sexism in society. That's like a whole like subset of rape culture where there's just like a problem where there's a double standard where women aren't supposed to be. Women are expected to behave with a certain amount of dignity and class and not to be overtly or aggressively sexual, but at the same time you have to sleep with me. Like,
it's just,
I don't want you to have sex, but also all women should be having sex with me.
It's just like how it resonates or how it ends up manifesting narratively is stuff like what's happening to where it's like, okay,
with Buffy
as the virgin, because Buffy,
she is a virgin.
Buffy is a virgin because she's kind of a, even though she like disobeys and stuff, I mean she's a teenager, so she's gonna do that, but she's a goody two shoes. Buffy,
you especially see that with her, like the parallel between her and Faith, but we'll talk to that about that in season 3.
But she's a goody two shoes and all of that. And she had like she and Angel were in love, and they felt like they were ready, and they were very close to one another, and it was a time where they felt comfortable and happy, and it was great. Like the experience was great, and it wasn't. There was literally nothing about the thing itself, except for the fact that just happened to be the time when he...
Yeah, that would, like, coincidentally is also the thing that makes him lose his soul. Like, they had a good experience, and that's exactly the problem, which is really problematic to do narratively, because it'd be one thing if this was just an interesting concept to explore and it's done in a vacuum where there isn't an entire culture surrounding this kind of stereotype, but at the end of the day there is a culture around this mentality, and there are young women watching this going, holy shit, because she has sex once. This is her first time having sex and she only does it once, and directly after that her boyfriend becomes evil, and it's her fault. Like, she blames herself for the rest of the season.
He also doesn't just become evil. The first thing he does in the morning is just, I mean, okay, well, he's evil. But the first thing he does in the morning is act like a jerk and be like,
no, but here's the thing.
You think that sex was good?
That's
you
the thing,
think
though. There's like a direct parallel between her, like what happened to Parker later.
Yes, yeah. I was about to say that.
Which, again, we'll cover when we reach season 4. Like in discussion, but we've reached it in terms of watching it, and there's this whole thing with the experience that actual young women have. I mean, it's probably a thing that young men go through as well with their first experience with sex, where the partner will leave, and I mean, the first time having sex can be a traumatic experience, or even if it's like you're moved into it comfortably and everything, because mentally there's a preparation that you have to go through because of the way that society perceives sex. So maybe afterwards you're like, you know what, I thought I was ready, but now it's coming to mind, the fact that people are going to think about me a certain way if they like notice that I've had sex already, and like there's a whole bunch of shit that you might be going through mentally and emotionally, and you might want somebody there to comfort you, particularly the person that you just lost your virginity with. And there's a thing where partners sometimes leave, and these partners are assholes. Mm-hmm. Don't do that.
No, but it's like, no, but...
They walk out, they go about their business, and in this situation, he walks out, goes about his business, that being losing his soul, and then going to Spike and Drew and whatever, and he shows back up to be an asshole.
It's like, and the thing is that Angel becoming Angelus is like the worst thing that could happen, because Angelus is a monster. Yeah. Angelus is not just, he's not just kind of a mean vampire or something. Spike is kind of a mean vampire.
Spike is also a monster. He's just like a very different one.
Yeah.
I mean, Spike's thing is he's very much self-serving, and he's got like human evils.
Yeah.
I mean, Spike's thing is that he just doesn't have much of a conscience. Mm-hmm. But overall, he's more relatable, I guess. Because Spike's thing is like he's a survivor. He's a person who really cares about himself mostly. He's soulless. He's evil. He's a monster. But he's not. He doesn't have the parallel of like a complete sociopath that Angel does, because Angel doesn't care. I mean, not Angel. Angelus. But
how do you? Because you put the stress on Angelus, by the way.
Oh,
and I
God,
say Angelus.
There's both. God, who knows? Because the pronunciation actually changes in the series. Okay. It's Angelus, it's Angelus, it's Angelus, it's all over the place. And I think they eventually settled on one pronunciation, but I don't remember what it is right now. It's like, it's canon for it to be not canon, basically.
It's just, she, not only does she blame herself like, oh, it's my fault. From that point on, until maybe Riley, but there's no, I mean, they don't address it with him either, but I'm not going to talk about that anyways.
I'm not going to tell you how that gets resolved. You can watch and see for yourself.
But from that point on, that means she associates the worst thing that could possibly happen to her boyfriend with him, like, penetrating her. Like, as in, that has to be
traumatic.
Seriously traumatic. And they don't, I mean, okay, I keep on like thinking of stuff that happens later.
They probably don't address it.
But I mean, from what I've seen so far, they don't really. It's just
there's an issue within the Buffyverse where a thing is brought up and it's explored but not addressed.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if there are any other things that I can bring up within season 2. Probably as we keep talking, I can be like, oh, here's another thing. But there's a thing where they'll bring up an issue and they're just like, this is an interesting exploration of culture and themes and mentalities and psychology and philosophy that directly affects people on a day-to-day basis all the time. See it happening in front of your face, and then don't actually address the issue and like deal with the roots of an issue. And it's a problem that I have with Buffy a lot, actually. They do this with sexuality. And I'm talking sexuality in terms of actually having sex, and sexuality in terms of who am I attracted to. They do this with mental illness. They do this with rape culture. They do this with a lot of different themes where they bring a thing up and they look, bad thing, good thing, maybe thing, and they don't actually go, where is the root of this problem? They completely fuck it up with Beauty and the Beasts, by the way. The season 3 Rolf episode.
Right.
Which, again,
Season 3, so.
Sorry, we keep bringing in future episodes.
Yeah.
Which I guess in terms of, if this was a retrospective review series, it wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly how you do it. But we try and keep on topic with the seasons in these. But yeah, it's an issue. It's an issue because it had to be seriously traumatic for her, and it's not something that we explore enough, and sex continues to be bad. That's the thing. It's a Buffyverse fact at this point, where, and I say Buffyverse and not just Buffy, because when we get to the Angel spin-off series, there's also a lot of episodes where sex is bad. And, like, the bad things that happen to the characters in the show is a direct result of them having sex. This is a serious problem.
It's really bizarre because a lot of the time, despite the problems that the writing may have sometimes, it's pretty progressive. Like, it's pretty understanding about, for the 90s, it's pretty understanding about certain things. But then stuff like this happens where it's a running theme is the issue. It's not like it just happens occasionally, maybe we're seeing things.
It pretty much never stops.
The only time
it stops, like I was telling him earlier, there's a late season 7 episode where people have a lot of sex and apparently nothing bad comes out of it. And we'll actually explore that later when we get to season 7. And in the comics, a lot of sex happens and no bad happens because of sex. So apparently when we get to like the finale of the show, that's when it's the right time to start exploring the idea that maybe sex isn't bad. But this is when people have pretty much stopped watching the show. Like season 7 wasn't when the height of Buffy was going on, so
I just wonder, it's like sometimes
nobody fucking reads the comics.
I'm sure it's a team of writers, but it's like I'm wondering if at some point way down the line they stopped and they're like, hey, hold on, wait a minute.
Sex isn't bad, is it?
Every time! Because they could not be doing it on purpose at all. They're just like,
yeah, no, it might just be a thing where, like,
sex happens, like,
I don't
something
think it's
horrible
on purpose.
happens.
I don't think it's on purpose. That's another thing. Like, I think it's a thing where, the idea is that horrible things happen in life, and sex is a part of human life. And if we want to explore the monsters being relatable to human experience, I mean, it's not a part of everybody's human life, but it's a part of some people's life.
Yeah.
And it's a common theme in life for sexuality to be there. And if we want to explore sexuality, then the best way to do it through Buffy is to have it happen with monsters and evil and demons and stuff, because this show is basically about how demons are relatable to human life. I mean, pretty much every Buffy episode is. These things happen in real life. Look at the parallels, like Reptile Boy, where the whole thing was a metaphor for actual frat parties where girls go there and get attacked, assaulted, raped by the people who throw the party or by guests at the party and stuff like this. This is really common at parties where people get drugged and stuff, and it's the way that they chose to explore it in Buffy by using a giant reptile demon that they were all worshipping as the metaphor for being assaulted. So it's I don't think it's intentional. I think it's just really common and overdone. And if you're gonna do it that way, then at least show us that on a regular basis it's not that bad. I mean, that's why I have to appreciate Anya coming on the scenes, because Anya fucking loves sex. and she is not afraid to express that, but then that's still kind of questionable because Anya's a ex-vengeance demon, and she also loves a lot of evil shit, so
it's
do
like
we trust Anya?
all the I mean, that doesn't happen in, so we don't see people like Faith comes in season 3. And
Faith loves sex, but Faith
loves sex, and Faith
evil.
is also kind of evil, and also bad things happen to Faith.
Spike loves sex. Spike is also pretty evil. Harmony turns out to love sex. Harmony throughout season 4 onward is evil because she's a soulless vampire. So it's just, who are the people who we don't see having a lot of sex are basically like Buffy and Willow, and I think Willow's the only one who doesn't have evil demon shit happening to her all the time whenever she decides to have sex.